I inherited a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA from the passing of my aunt back in January. The Roth IRA, I did take a couple dollars out of that because it's not taxable. The traditional IRA, being she was in her 70s, she has to take a minimum required distribution.
Right.
And being I'm an heir, I have to take that distribution.
Right.
The question I got is, should I go ahead and delete that whole of the traditional account and put that money in like a safe place? Because we're thinking about possibly buying some rental property, and go ahead and pay the taxes on the money and delete it, or should I hold on to it?
Well, it depends on how much the taxes are.
Get in there. I know the taxes are going through the roof.
Yeah. I mean, if you're okay paying the taxes on it, and still going to come out okay, I wouldn't have a real problem with it, particularly if you're going to turn it around and invest it into something that's going to produce some income for you. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with it. Taxes aren't going to get any lower. So I don't really have. Are you retired now, Mike?
I'm working part-time, like 20 hours a week, but I've been retired for about 15 years.
Okay.
I retired at 48.
Okay. So, yeah, I wouldn't have too much of an issue with that. I think that'd be fine. Now,
okay,
but just make sure that you understand how much tax it's going to be and all that, and you're okay with it. Mike just kind of outlined something that I talk about often, and this is why I don't like inherited IRAs. Now, Mike's able to do a good thing with it. That's great. Get it out of there where you can control it. You're going to have it in an investment account, and in his case, he's probably going to put it towards some rental property. But there's something to be said for that, because a very good, taxes aren't getting cheaper. Lord knows 10 years from now he could still be paying tax on that, and who knows what tax is going to be. So I always try to encourage people and tell people all the time, look, I believe all of us ought to have a plan by which we are utilizing our retirement money, our 401k and such, that we're withdrawing some of that. And we're withdrawing some of that with the idea, yeah, we got to pay taxes, but better us pay the taxes now than pay the taxes, down the road, and have the flexibility of not needing having to use the minimum required distribution and so on and so forth. So in the long run, I think it's a very good idea. And that's what we're seeing. That's what Mike's doing. And I think that everybody ought to have a plan. So let's say you're 62 years old, and every year from now until it's gone, you're taking $5,000 out. Of that. And yeah, you got to pay a little tax on that $5,000. But every year you're taking that $5,000 and you're moving it over to your investment account. I think that's going to serve you really well in the next 10 years. And maybe you can do as much over the next 10 years as necessary to get it all out of there. Depends on how large it is. Sometimes you just can't do enough, and there's not going to be a possibility for you to do a month as much, because you might have a very old and very a large 401k or IRA that you're doing that from, and that's fine. But do what you can. I think it's always a good thing. Hey, I want to thank you for watching the clip. We sure do appreciate it. Would you go right now, click on that subscribe button if you haven't already? That helps us. We would appreciate it. Thanks again.